This lesson's on multi-page documents. So here I've got a page document which is 3 pages long. The first thing I want you to know about is a page break, how to get something to go to the next page without having to hit enter, 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 which is not the right way to go. A page break, you can put one in with Control Enter at the same time. If you don't remember that shortcut, usually you can go to Insert, and even these days you can go to Page Layout, I believe, and ask for break, and then go to Page Break. And that will force whatever's after the insertion point onto the next page. So that's the fastest way to say I want to go to the next page right now. Now that was a regular page break. I just want to talk about the fact that you can put in a section break. A section break gives you not only a new page, but it'll give you a brand new section. A new section allows you three things. The first thing it allows you to do is allows you to take a page and put it on its side. So the first page can be a regular page, and then the next page can be orientation, can be landscape, and then you can go back to portrait if you'd like to. So I'm going to insert a next page, but also with a section break, and it'll tell you that it's a next page section break. And now if I wanted to, I could take whatever's after that insertion point and say I want the rest of this to be landscape. So I left the first one alone, and then everything else is landscape. Now I'd be able to put another section break in here if I wanted to and bring it back to portrait, let's say. So now this is all landscape, and I'd be able to say, okay, I want this section to be back to portrait. So it allows you to jump back and forth. It would allow you also to change your margins from one section to the other. Now I don't find too many practical purposes for that, but just so you know, you can change your margins if you wanted to. The third thing it'll allow you to do is change your headers and footers. Now, we haven't discussed those. Let's do that now. So I'm just going to undo. The fastest way, in my opinion, to get into headers and footers is to simply double click in your top margin or your bottom margin, and that will bring up all your toolbar for your headers and footers. So I've double clicked, and it's showing you where your header area is and where your footer area is. Now, whatever you type in here will show up on every single page automatically. So, on that topic, typically we don't even want a header or footer on our first page because it's clear that it's the first page. So even putting the page number 1 is somewhat redundant. So in order to avoid having anything show up on our first page, they've created this little button here called Different First Page. This means give me two sets of headers and footers. Give me a set for the first page and give me a set for every other page. So I'm going to turn this on most of the time. And most of the time, I'm not going to type anything in my first page header. I'm also not going to type anything in my first page footer. Now, as far as what you want to put in your header and footer, tons of choices. You could put the name of the book, the name of the chapter. You could put the page, of course. Okay? Depending on what it is you're creating, it could be a newsletter for the month of September, so you'd want to put that information. They've preset some tabs in here. They got a center tab and a right tab because that would allow you to do something like newsletter, and then tab in, and then the name of the organization, and then you'll be able to put the season here. So that allows you to quickly and easily create a nice header, and that would of course be repeated on every single page except for the first page. There are all kinds of other preset headers and footers that you can insert. If I go into the footer, let's say, I can then go to, they give you options here as far as what you want to put. This is the formatting. I can come here into page number and choose some kind of page numbering scenario. Now, when choosing page numbers, I really like the one where it tells you which page you're on and how many total pages there are. So it's usually this here. So this would tell you that you're on page 2 of 3. And if you wanted that centered, you just tab into the middle. And that will keep track. So as you add pages to this, it will know exactly and tell you exactly how many and what page number you're on. So lots of features, lots of different things. I don't want to get into every single thing you can put in a header or footer. Feel free to scroll through the list, experiment a little bit, and know that you have some options as far as what you can put into there. If you were typing a book, let's say, and you were into this was the end of chapter 1, and you wanted to start a header with chapter 2 instead, well, this is where you would ask again for a brand new section. So I'm just going to double click to get out of the header and footer area, And then to go from this page to this page, let's say it started with getting started. Let's say that was the beginning of the next chapter. I would, of course, insert, or I can go to page layout, insert a next page section break. And if this was the beginning of my next chapter, I would be able to go back into headers and footers and let it know what chapter I'm in. As with everything else, I would wait until I'm done typing my document before getting in to headers and footers.